Hi, in this film I'm going to show you my very large sewing machine. It's a giant, this one. It's my Singer 133K8. And it's actually quite an old machine. It looks in lovely condition. It's been retabled and remotored. But it's about 1940 in actual fact. But it's built like a tank. It's like old knife-foot lathes. Wonderful. Anyway, I use this for very heavy duty work. So going through several layers of thick veg tan leather. So just as an example, here is a bill hook holder. Well, it's a holster for a hedge flare to put their bill hook down into. And this comprises 3 layers of vegetable tan leather, each layer about 3mm, so about 9mm in all. And it just walks through it. It's like a walk in the park. It just goes boom, 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 and the needles go down and through. I have got various size needles for this one. Some are relatively slim. I use the word relatively, and some of them are literally like nails. They're huge. I'll show you some of them in a minute. Well, at the moment I've got the machine set up for quite light leather, because I've been making my friends a few of these spoon tool holding cases. They hold spoon carvers' tools. That's what they actually do. And it's set up with a size 20 NM thread and a 140 needle. So that's the sort of lighter end of what it does. I'll show you in a minute on the heavier stuff as well, but let's just start it up and you can see what it's like. It's got a 1/2 horsepower motor. It's a clutch motor. It makes a bit of noise, but it's not, as you can see, too bad. So that's on standby. The actual needle foot holder can be raised and lowered either by hand with the lever here or with a foot pedal. And then I've geared the machine down 3 times with a system of pulleys so it goes slower, which is really good for leather work. And I can take it quite slow. So that's quite fast. I can then take it down, as you can see there, to a nice, very slow pace if I want to, which is great if you need to get control on something going around perhaps a difficult corner. Going down, and then it's got a nice big hand wheel, so if I want to I can sort of hold it with my hand, I'll get the last stitch in, and that's quite useful as well. I'll just finish that bit off. Well, just to show you the machine with thicker leather, I've got some veg tan here, which is quite hard shoulder actually. It's about 4 to 5mm thick. It's only a single layer, but I'll just give you a quick demo of how it can go through that. So again, and you see it just walks through, literally. The machine has what's called a walking foot actually, which is very useful for leather work, because it's like a machine foot which walks a bit like a pace. You can see one part of it. And it stops scratching the leather and keeps the leather nicely controlled, and on a slippery surface like leather it actually grips the leather very well, so it's a good kind of foot system to have for a leather working machine. I do find with these industrial machines that you have to set them up for a particular kind of thread and needle combinations you're using. So as I say, at the moment I've got it doing relatively thin thread. You can set them up for far thicker threads. So the needle sizes, I mean, here's a 230 needle, which is like a nail, literally. And the needle I've been using is a 140, which again is pretty hefty. I mean, it's quite big compared to a domestic machine. But the big needle, the 230, is where you could use a hammer and start doing timber joinery with that one. And the other thing I find with these industrials, that one of the nice things is they have massive bobbins on them, so you can put lots and lots of thread in your bobbin. You're not having to constantly rewind your bobbin. And it's the same with the actual thread delivery for the top. You've got these like cones, and you can get quite big cones. This is bonded nylon, which I find works best with these machines, and it's obviously rot proof for leather work, which is nice. And you can get a whole range of colours, and you get it by this literally 1,000 odd meters, so it's quite useful getting big rolls like that. Well, I really like this machine. It's quite a nice thing to use, and it's really good if you've got a lot of sewing jobs, like these sorts of tool rolls where you're making them for your friends, or you want to make something where it's a lot of thick leather sewing. It is lovely and quick, and it does a neat job. I have to say, if you're doing nice little bits of bespoke leather, so little things like this little pouch bag thing here, I don't think you can beat the hand sewing. But and also it's very pleasurable doing hand sewing. But there you are. You take a choice, don't you? It depends how much you've got and how much time you've got. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching the video, and please just ask any questions below.